Hey everyone, this is Wobbly Wallaby. Today I'll let you know whether it's worth playing Trio Savior Neo. I've been playing for a month using 3 accounts. I'm currently at level 51 on my main account as a hunter with 325,000 power. Then I had created 2 other accounts to experience other classes. I was curious about the healer and guard. So yeah, I've definitely put in a lot of time in this game since I was looking for another MMORPG to play. But is it worth playing? Stay tuned to find out. There are quite a few dailies and weeklies, but luckily for dailies you can go AFK for many of these. Having auto attack really is helpful, so I can do other stuff at the same time. I usually spend about an hour playing a day, and I feel like I notice an improvement each day, which is great. Due to my busy work schedule, it's hard for me to find fixed times to play with others, which is why I enjoyed creating my own party of 3, so I can play whenever I want to. It's also fun to play other classes to see what it does. I like healer because it gives survivability, and the guard is great for sucking in monsters and also tanking. It synergizes well with my hunter's DPS. Now, if you're gonna spend in Trio Savior Neo, I'd highly recommend Huawei AppGallery, which is my sponsor and also the service I use to save money and get a lot of free stuff. AppGallery is Huawei's official app store with thousands of mobile games available for download with exclusive rewards and cashback offers. Click on the link in my description to download AppGallery. To take advantage of all the benefits, make sure you register an account with Argentina as the country. For a phone number later on, you can still use your own country's phone number. However, if you had AppGallery account before, you can change the settings via Me, Settings, and then country or region. I'd follow these steps to change from Canada to Argentina so I could get the free stuff and the benefits. You'll also be asked to install the HMS Core, which is required. And in case you had previously downloaded Trio Savior Neo, uninstall it or there may be conflicts. You can bind your Trio Savior account to an email so you won't lose your progress when you reload it on the AppGallery. So what benefits do you get? Users that install Trio Savior Neo from AppGallery for the first time will be able to claim a free $1.98 US coupon. In my link, you can open it in AppGallery and then click Obtain. Then you'll see $1.98 USD as a coupon so you can buy things for free in-game. This is especially good to get the Gold Cat for the first time purchases, so I'd highly recommend you take advantage of that. For example, here I buy the Rainbow Gems. It costs less than $1, and then I can choose that coupon that I had redeemed to basically cost me nothing. So this is a great way to get free stuff right away with AppGallery. There is also a coupon code for getting free gifts. Click Obtain under Free Gift Code, then get the code via the Claim button. Go to Settings, Basic, and Redeem Code, and put in the code. Your character does need to be above level 16 to have the Redeem Code functionality. Also, for purchases, you get 20% cashback coupons. For example, I make this purchase and I see PayPal gives me 20% cashback for future purchases. After the purchase, I go back and see 10 cents for my future purchase. If you want to see these cashback coupons, go to Me, Username, Payment and Purchases, and then Coupons. Also, AppGallery is available not only on Huawei phones, but on Android devices and Android emulators. I'm using an Android emulator right now to show this. So if you want to get awesome discounts on Trio Savior Neo and get a lot of free stuff, then try Huawei AppGallery today. So let's begin. First, I've been playing MMORPGs on mobile for years, and to me, feeling like high progression and goals are important. I want my power to increase each day, and I do not feel like I hit a wall with no way to proceed. I don't like RPGs where I feel stuck and be forced to spend money. Luckily for Trio Savior Neo, I feel like my power can go up each day and I have a lot of fun doing it. You can get a lot of thrills from the randomness in this game. For example, I bought an unknown glove from the market. Then when it got identified, it has leaf lore, which is very rare. That spiked my power like crazy and made me really happy. And luckily I just used in-game currency to buy this from the game from grinding, which is really nice. But with power level going up, you also need a way to test it, so I really enjoy these 2 modes to help me see how strong I've actually gotten. The first one is the Archie Tower game mode, which is the solo mode. I'm currently at level 54 and the recommended power is 288,000. If I can get to floor 56, I'll get the Gacha coupons. Since it's solo, you can definitely gauge how good your character is and how much damage you have. This is a fun way to test out your progress, as well as getting great rewards. On floor 56, you can also face a boss, which is kind of fun too. Next, besides Archie Tower, I also really enjoy the hero challenges. You can get this under the Trip. This is where you can fight famous NPCs that you met in the story. You can get great rewards too. For example, here are some from Winter Hill. And I'll face Deshawn. These fights are pretty fun. These heroes can get very difficult, and luckily they have different skills, so there's a lot of variety. Now my power is higher than his, so this one isn't too hard. And once I beat down Deshawn, I get my rewards. This is one of the ways I farm Gacha coupons for rolling for my cat pals. Now I do play with random parties for harder stuff, and that's fun as well. I do like the social aspect of this, as opposed to RPGs where you're just by yourself solo. For example, for the Nova 2 star test, I needed a full party of people, some of which are whales. This test was kind of fun. I'm glad these battles require you to move around and also use your skills effectively. You can choose to auto or not, though even on auto you can still move around. Your cat pals won't auto though, so you can time that as needed, which is great. Now, PvP is also pretty fun as well, and a good way to test your progress. There is no matchmaking, so you can actually choose the ones you want to challenge. I'll challenge someone stronger than me, although he is a healer. So before PvP begins, you get this nice intro right here. I cast out buffs and hit him. I try to debuff with slow whenever I can too. Now facing real players does get pretty exciting, and you can get some good rewards from here too. So he goes down eventually. It was definitely a fun fight. Now in addition, when you do daily gear riff runs, you can also see how powerful you have gotten, especially when I use my own team of accounts since I'm the primary DPS. So with about an hour a day, I can run a lot of stuff automatically and make good progress. There's some stuff where you can fully AFK and auto like the escort missions. Next, how limited do your resources feel? Because I don't like RPGs where it feels like I can't invest in things. Now here it does depend on where. For your equipment, definitely do inheritance on gold gear. I found purple gear to not be worth the inheritance since you want to save the good stats for that. But luckily for enhancing, it is for that slot, so replacing the gear doesn't take away the enhancements. But you definitely want to distribute it evenly, since as you go higher it will cost more to enhance, so you don't want to go crazy upgrading just one thing. Next for cards, I heavily invested in gold, purple, and red cards. Enhancing later on isn't guaranteed, so you definitely want to save that for gold and red cards to try to get to 8 and above. But here the enhancement isn't guaranteed either. For example, from 8 to 9 it is a 15% chance and can go down, which really sucks, so definitely be careful with this. There's a lot of randomness here. And that's the same with Refine. There's a lot of randomness here, and definitely save it for your best gold and red cards since the resources are limited. But luckily for cards, it isn't too bad to dismantle cards. It definitely makes it easier to enhance when you're able to dismantle cards very often. Now I'd say the resource that I feel most limited by is the cat pals. I feel like I barely had enough resources to level up 3 of my gold cat pals. I did heavily invest in another purple cat before that, but besides that you have very little resources to invest in cats, so please be careful here. Next, how much stuff is there to do in the game? I do like games where it's very open and you can do whatever you want. You aren't forced to some linear path. And luckily for Trio Saver Neo, there's tons of stuff to do. For example, here I chose the ability to cook, so I have recipes I can make. There's also resources you can gather. For example, I need fish, so I'm going to go fishing. In this game you can fish and gather other stuff as well. So my character's going to go towards the fishing hole. And you can see the map is pretty big as I walk around. Now I start fishing and you can stay here for a while. And finally when I have enough, then I begin cooking my fried fish for the buff. And then I equip this meal. So the abilities add some fun things you can do, and I really like cooking, so I became a cook. Now you can also take care of your house. Here I plant wheat. It takes time so you can watch stuff grow kinda slowly, but it still works. And if you have ample time, you can certainly play this like a farming simulator. But for me, I didn't touch this that much since I didn't have much time. And here's where you could spend a ton of time playing this game. I remember in the first couple of days, there's some people that spend like 12 hours a day playing this, and that's certainly possible just because you have so much stuff you could do, but that doesn't mean you have to. So luckily there's that freedom to do a lot or as little as you want. Next is the gacha part. I would say that the cat gachas are fine. There's some decent pity and you can get lots of coupons for rolling for the gold cat pals, but for red cats so far no luck despite rolling a ton. For getting red cats, that's probably where you need to be pay to win by spending a lot on getting gacha rolls. Next for fashion, this one is not free to play friendly either, you really gotta spend for these. And same with the limited gacha. But for those two previously mentioned, it affects your wardrobe, which does give you power, but definitely not as much as cat pals. So despite not having any of the fashion or limited gachas, I can do just fine. I just got the wardrobe that came from the pre-registration. Next is the gameplay. I definitely do like the battle mechanics in this game. It's pretty simple to move around, as well as dodging does feel pretty good as well. You also get a bunch of skills which are pretty intuitive to use, so it's very easy to pick up and master. It definitely didn't feel overly complicated or too simple for my liking. Finally is story. A lot of it is skippable and not too lengthy. A lot of the story isn't mandatory either once you hit a certain level. I don't like RPGs where it's unbearable to sit through the story and it's too long. Luckily there's a good amount of story and action, so it's pretty fun that way. The story is good for leveling and getting some stuff, but even if you don't, it's still fine. For my alternate accounts, after I reached level 30, I didn't really have to do much story anymore and I just focused on doing my dailies and weeklies. So the good thing is you're not forced to do the story if you don't want to, and you can still progress, which I really enjoy. So overall, I do think Trio Saver Neo is worth playing. It is a fun MMORPG that you can enjoy even if you just play an hour a day or super casually. You can still see great progress, which is very nice. So if you're looking for another MMORPG to pick up, you should definitely give it a try. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Here's a video that I'd recommend, and if you want more Trio Saver Neo videos, check out this playlist over here.